Greetings, everyone. I hope you all have had a fabulous Monday. I know by now this story is viral about this guy. His name is Rajaee Sharif Black, that took out his ex-girlfriend and his ex-wife. I think the ex-girlfriend is pregnant. This story is so tragic. I mean, it's terrible, right? So I figured we discuss it because I have seen on here on the YouTube streets people saying that linking Kevin Samuel specifically to this man. So I thought that was interesting. So I figured we just kind of discuss it to see if you all think that these red pill content creators are influencing men to do things like this, or perhaps is it just like the pandemic, just the stress of everyday life, if that's what it is. So I figure we discuss it. So before I get into that, I thank y'all for joining me this evening. Be sure to like the stream, share it if you know someone who's interested in this. We're almost at 500 subscribers here, so I'm excited about that. Once I get to 500, I'm definitely going to do a giveaway, so definitely subscribe if you haven't already. But I'm going to see what you all are saying before I get into it. And welcome, Just Chilling. Good to see you. Hey, Queen of the South. Okay, so Queen, you're saying that he lost his job earlier this year due to a workplace dispute. He was a nurse anesthetist making pay. Oh my God, so he actually lost his job? Yo, okay, so I didn't know he lost his job. Wow. Thank you, Queen. It's rough in these streets. It's rough in these streets trying to get there. So I'm gonna read this story. I don't want to play that Facebook video because it's just creepy. Like, he was so calm. I'm sure y'all seen it by now, or y'all can go see it. I personally don't want to share that. It's a lot. It's really heavy because his demeanor, it was just so like he was just talking about a donut. So I want to read this. So it says, Maryland man ranted on Facebook Live between allegedly offing his ex-girlfriend and ex-wife. All right, and this was posted yesterday. So this happened in Baltimore, not too far from where I am. So it says a man hunted down both his ex-girlfriend and ex-wife before dying by, he took his own self out, according to the cops. Oh my goodness, Lord have mercy. Okay, so Rajaee Sharif Black, 44, on Saturday afternoon allegedly offed a woman who officers identify as a 41-year-old. The rear door of the residence had been kicked in, Police Commissioner Michael S. Harrison said. After this, Black crossed over into Howard County and went on Facebook Live to complain about the woman as well as his ex-wife, Wendy Natalie Black, who was 42, regarding custody problems, according to the Baltimore Sun. And he said in the video, anyway, I just did something crazy. I, off my ex-girlfriend in the dome. He reportedly said outside his ex-wife's apartment building. Felt like a dream. I never thought I would be that guy. All these damn ads on this website. Excuse me. I can't go to prison. So the person that really started my depression and all of this is my ex-wife. So she's next. Then he mentioned he's going to take care of himself. And by then we saw her open the door. He chased her and it ended. But what was interesting to me, I think it's a lack of accountability. He said that she caused his depression. Right. So I'm like, how can someone cause your depression? And, on this channel, we've been following Young Pharaoh. This story kind of reminded me of Young Pharaoh because he's another man that always blames everyone else for his problems. Anything he's gone through in his life is someone else's problem. And don't get me wrong, I have empathy for him going through a custody issue. Like, I have my sister and her husband. He had children when my sister married him. His baby mama is the devil incarnate. That woman is rotten. So I do know that there are true custody disputes. That these men are not making this stuff up. However, I just think it's so sad that he chose this as a resolution to the problem. And to me, it seems like a lack of accountability. I know I was watching Tariq Radio yesterday, and he called him a simp, a weak simp, or whatever. And I just wonder, have some people had some experienced some real adversity in their life? Like, I have experienced some adversity in my life. So I feel like that Monica Still Standing song, that's an anthem. It was a scripture said, never mind. But anyway, I done been through some stuff in my life. So I just wonder if some people just, I don't want to use weak, but because I can't think of another word right now, that some people are so weak, they can't endure, they have no fight in them, they just figure this is the way out. And then the kids are orphans, right? So let me see what y'all saying. But my lord, let me see what y'all saying. Queen says, yes, nurse anesthetists are the number one earners among all nurses, close to 200K a year. That's amazing. That's amazing. You think of all the work he put in to get to where he was. Like, when I saw this video, let me know what y'all thought about it. But to me, that man, he just seemed like he just gave up. He just gave up. And I don't think it's fair that people inserting Kevin Samuels or other content creators. So like Kevin Samuels be asking people dress size, age, how much you weigh, things like that. He's not, I haven't heard him, and I've criticized that man. I have not heard him tell any man to do what this man did. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate that. You said hashtag incels for hell. Yeah, this is crazy. Do you think perhaps this pandemic is why people is acting this way? Queen called him a high value destiny. He's a Lord. It's ridiculous. Queen says the video is so creepy, and when you see the ex-wife open the door, right? So sad. I wonder, did she even? Because they said, I read something that the kids were in the car. So if I saw somebody say he was accused of like molesting that kids he had with a wife, so like, the hell is going on? That's a terrible allegation. Oh goodness, difference between Dusty's Queen says he sounded like a baby saying he didn't have any family. Well, right, like he had family. And I feel like this pandemic has really exposed people. Before the pandemic, and I know we're kind of getting back to quote unquote normal, but before the pandemic, you could go to work, you could go to school or gym or whatever, the bar, wherever, and just kind of get away from your problems, not really deal with your personal issues. But when everything shut down, it's like you really had to deal with your life. It's like say, damn, I really don't have no friend. I don't have no family, or whatever the case may be. And I don't know about y'all, but when I saw this, I thought about young Pharaoh, and specifically because I think the video was either flagged or he took it down. He was going in on Camille, talking about what he was going to do to her if she don't let him see his son. And I was like, now Camille be dragging the hell out of Pharaoh. She also knows his pain points, so she always makes fun of him not having parents. So I'm like, oh girl, I wouldn't even be talking to this man because he's crazy, And we see what this weirdo just did. Queen said he sounded like he had no remorse. He definitely didn't, because how can you take your children? You say you love your kids, right? So you love your kids so much, you're fighting for custody, but yet you off the mother, you off yourself. So I hope the kids have some grandparents or some aunts or uncles. You just created orphans. And we know what a foster care system is not pretty. Queen said K's name gonna find a way into right. Right. He gonna find a way into the situation. I'm like, K's probably like, don't put me in that. He just be gallivanting in Midtown, Buckhead. Don't y'all put him in that. Queen says, I'm thinking his job loss tipped him over the edge, knowing all that money he was making. But again, he lost his job due to a workplace dispute, so he seems problematic with it. Oh, wow. Because I'm like, you nurse anesthetist, bro. You can get a job anywhere just like that. And even just for like, a lower wage job. I was in the mall and it was like, we hiring right now. So that's sad. He was so, That's sad. Like, bro, you could get another job, but you make a good point, Queen. He must be a problematic person, or he needs to look. Well, he's gone now, but he seemed like he didn't want to blame everybody else to me. Because if you having problems at work, you having problems with the women in your life, when are you going to say, look, self-reflect and look at what your role is in it? And then he was on Facebook talking about, bro, you know what I've been through. And I was like, this dude is lame. Just said, let's see what you said. I remember a good number of incels done call for the, yep. I have seen that too. I know Tommy Sotomayor has said something like that. But like, whatever. Queen says he's clearly has behavior problems. Right. So let me get back to this story. That was terrible. Okay, so I read that part. So that's the apartment in Columbia, Maryland. Wow. I do not want to see his video. Because the way he's just so calm, like he's just doing a food review. We're talking about some Jordans or something. And he said, don't play with folks' emotions. And I'm like, when does it come a point when we are responsible for our actions? Like, he can't control the ex-wife. Like, let's play devil's advocate and say that she is really being a butthole and keeping the kids from him and lying on his name. He can't control her, but that's what attorneys are for. That's what the judicial system is for. Like, what he did was so irrational and ridiculous, and there's no coming back from it. And it's really cowardly and weak. That's why I said I just feel like a lot of people act like they never experienced no adversity in their life. Or maybe they don't have no spiritual life because, like, bro, you'll get through this. Fight for your kids. And I also wonder when I think about Capitol Hill, are men taking these issues to like their congressmen, their senators, people that can maybe help reform these custody issues instead of just doing like what this guy did? And it said just after the shooting, police located the Black's two young children unharmed in his car, a gray BMW X3, in the parking lot of the apartment complex. The children have been placed in a safe environment and did not witness the incident. Thank God. Police are not releasing the names, genders, or ages of the children for their privacy. And I saw him on, it was it LinkedIn or something? I guess before he got fired, he was really, I guess, appreciated at work or looked at expert at work or subject matter expert at his job. So let's see. See what y'all saying. Queen says then he had to go on live to get the last bit of sympathy and play victim instead of a cold, calculated killer. Right. I don't have sympathy for him because I just think he's ridiculous. I think he's weak. I think he's low vibrational. And fight for your kids. Don't do that. Oh yeah. They're gonna have a field that I saw. I don't know if he's Manosphere, but a content creator today was talking about it, and he was saying women, y'all need to stop keeping men from their kids. I'm like, I mean, I do agree, but if you have that molestation allegation, so that's concerning. But again, if he didn't do it, that's what the judicial system is for, and that's what attorneys are for, not for him to take justice in his own hands. I don't believe in keeping men from their children, but if they harming the kids, then you are supposed to protect the children. Let's see. Queen said, didn't nobody like him. They just like his money. It seemed like it. So, like I said, I've been through some ish. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get through this. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to live to tell the story. I'm going to live another day. And it's really sad. And normally, at one point, I remember like in the 90s, they would characterize white men as doing these kind of activities, but now you're seeing it all kind of men. I remember when I was in elementary school, my classmate, his dad killed the mom. I don't want to use the word on here, but he off the mother, his older brother, his middle brother. He tried to off him, but he survived. and it made the news and everything. And I remember when he came back to school, we always was looking at him with such pity because his entire family was gone. So these things are very common. It's sad, but I just wonder, do you think there's not enough, maybe, I think in 2021 you could Google I need a therapist, or Google I'm feeling like I want to take myself out, and there are resources. So I don't believe there are not resources for men or women, anybody that needs help, that's feeling like they just lost all hope. There is help. So I'm just disgusted by this guy. Queen says, no, they aren't. They aren't getting different race women and getting the same results because there's no self-reflection. Right. You know, it's so easy to blame other people. That's the easy way out. Self-reflection, it hurts when you look at what you've done, you're honest with yourself, like, man, that was kind of fucked up what I did, and you right wrongs. I think it takes a mature person to really self-reflect and be honest and say, you know what, I need to improve in this area. Or maybe I haven't been the best man or whatever. Like, it really does. And most people are not willing to do that. And I think that's men and women. Queen says, any man justify this surprise. Yeah, because you can't justify it. His actions, because again, we are responsible for our actions as individuals. So even if someone does something, we're still responsible for how we react to that. But he was just trying to blame this woman. And if that allegation is true, of course, we don't know. It seemed like she's protecting her children, because if you know, that's terrible. That's a terrible allegation to have. So just said, wouldn't be surprised if he down with the He-Man Woman Haters Club. I could see it. And Queen says, there's another man who killed his ex-wife earlier this year, was also with a different race woman. He was linked to Coach. Oh, that Coach Greg Adams, I cannot take him. It's somebody I follow on Twitter that's always retweeting him. And I think on Twitter there's an option to mute or like block tweets from people. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him. And I'm not a woman that's gonna act like we're perfect. No human being is perfect, but what he did is wrong. What he did was cowardly. He could have got another job. Well, I don't know. See, I don't know what he did, what made him get fired. Because it might not be no coming back from it, depending on what it was. But I know his field, they are so needed right now. Nurses are making bank right now. And he was a nurse anesthetist too. Ooh, he could have cleaned up. So just says, oh wow, so a Tommy follower had did off somebody as well. Wow. Queen says, and then there is another story about a 29-year-old police officer. Oh my God. Oh my God, Queen. I'm gonna find that story. I wouldn't date a police officer. That's very common with them. That is very common with them. No shade to any officers, but no, thank you. No, thanks. Absolutely not. Bear me one moment. I'm just trying to share my screen. Oh boy. Let's see. And he said he couldn't even go to jail. But that's kind of like, what's that Gabby Petito case where the guy, he was such a coward. You know, we'll never know why he did what he did to her. That's so sad. Damn, my device is not cooperating with me. Okay, thank you. Thank y'all for the links. That's very helpful. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I'm about to open a new window. Thank y'all. But doesn't it seem like this violence is on the rise, though? It seems like it's increasing. I know it's not new, but it just seems like it's increasing. And I wonder, is it the pandemic, pandemonium, making people behave this way? Or, I mean, what's really going on with people right now? What's really going on with people right now? Oh, come on.
What if you could surprise the loved ones on your list?
Okay. Okay. So I got the links. Thank you. Okay. So let me share the Washington Post story. I'm going to share that first. Well, it's just like people are unhinged as hell right about now. You can't say nothing to people. Like, you really do your best things to walk away from people because people are just unhinged. Okay, so it says white man traveled to New York to kill. Oh my God. Black man make a statement, police say. Oh my goodness. A white man from Maryland who told police he traveled to New York to kill black men turned himself in on Wednesday. And this happened in 2017, about 24 hours after he fatally. Oh my goodness. So he went to New York just to hurt somebody? Described the suspected attacker as someone who had long harbored feelings of hatred toward black men before violently acting on them this week. So, Justice, is this the man that was a fan of Tommy? Because I remember, you remember what was that, the knockout game or something? Because Tommy was encouraging people to hurt black men. I remember that. I remember that. I remember that very fondly. Let's see. Said the reason why he picked New York is because it's the media capital of the world, and he wanted to make a statement. Police said they charged James Harris Jackson, 28, with wow. He a 66-year-old man. What a coward. Wow. I hope he's getting fucked up in prison. Wednesday morning, a little more than 24 hours after the attack, Jackson walked into the police substation in Times Square and announced that he was wanted for murder. Wow. Ay, ay, ay. He looks crazy as hell, too. He said, I'm the person you're looking for. Wow. He had knives in his pockets. Police searched him, took him into custody. He had a 26-inch black mini sword, which he said police believe is the weapon used to stab the 66-year-old man in the back. And he hit him in the back. Wow. He's a military veteran behaving that way. He was in the Army for more than 3 years, deploying to Afghanistan between December 2010 and November 2011. His service record did not include any badges reflecting combat interaction with any enemy during that time. He served as a military intelligence analyst and left the service in August with the rank of specialist. Okay, I don't know what that means. 'Cause I've never been in the military. Wow, that's terrible. I see what you're saying. Wow. I've heard of that name, Charles Faulkner Jr. Is that the one that killed his girlfriend? That cop? Yeah, them cops, they notorious for doing that to their girlfriends. It's just like the wind blow. They do that. And I'm gonna share the video that Queen dropped.
Chicago police officer is in custody.
And to a certain degree, it's kind of like you kind of think like, who wants to be a police officer? You don't make enough money to risk your life. Is there any amount of money to risk your life? I don't know if you can put a dollar amount on that.
Is in custody tonight. Police say he's suspected of killing a woman inside a Northwest Side home.
She was found dead today from a gunshot wound. That officer has now been relieved of his police powers. WGN's Jenna Barnes spoke with the woman's family. She's joining us live from the Area 5 police station in the Belmont-Cragen neighborhood. Hello to you.
And I do want to mention that we are viewing this video from what's this WGN News in Chicago for fair use purposes, for commentary and discussion purposes.
Hi, Lourdes and Ray. That officer is being questioned here at Area 5 tonight. This woman's family is devastated, and they want to make sure no stone is left unturned in this investigation. Andrice Woofer was a mother of 2 girls, a social worker pursuing her master's degree.
She was always about her kids.
That's why her family says they grew worried when she didn't pick them up yesterday. Then
someone called saying that she didn't come to work. So then everybody started calling each other. We called her dad, asked her dad to come over and check and see, was her car still here?
Her car was there at the Galewood Flats apartment complex, but she didn't come to her door. Her dad called police, and officers found Andrice dead inside her home, shot in the face.
Oh my God, he shot her in the face. That's horrendous. And she looked very vibrant, like she loved life. That's so sad. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
She was 29 years old.
Very outgoing, love life. So this is the reason why we just hoping that this does not get swept under the rug. Because we know she did not to herself. She's thinking about Christmas, the things that she was going to do. They wanted to celebrate Christmas early this Saturday. So there's no way. There's no way.
Police initially called the case a death investigation. They say they've now arrested an off-duty Chicago police officer and relieved him of his police powers. WGN News is not reporting his name because he hasn't been charged, but family tells us he's the father of Andrice's youngest daughter.
He was the last one in. Luckily, the community that she stays in has video cameras all around. It makes no sense.
We saw police towing vehicles from that apartment complex as part of their investigation this afternoon. As soon as we learn if this officer will be charged and what charges he faces, we will let you know. For now, we're live on the Northwest Side. Jenna Barnes, WGN News.
All right, thank you very much, Jenna. Now,
Wowzers. Wow. That's so sad, but it seems like we're seeing these stories more and more. Like I said, I know this has happened, but it just seems to be more frequent. And I don't understand why. Wow. That's terrible. That's terrible. I just wonder what happened. What happened? Did they break up? Ay. Wow. But do y'all think that the red pill community, or I don't know, is that a proper term for them? Like the Kevin Samuels, the alpha male strategies, the Steffes Coles, who else is there? I don't know, Steve the Dean Williams. Do you think they are having a negative influence on their viewers, the men that watch them? Because remember Friday, if y'all didn't check it out, please do. Me and Jess were reviewing the Black Manosphere meetup, and none of those men looked like we thought they were going to look. Because, in the Black Manosphere, they're always telling men to be in their best shape, learn how to dress, all these things. And most of those guys were significantly overweight. I say obese. They dressed like they shop at the JCPenney Husky section, for the little boys. So it just seems like they just like to talk the talk, but then definitely not walking the walk. So I'm curious to know what y'all think. I personally don't think, I think everyone should be accountable for their own actions. So personally, I'm not going to associate Kevin Samuels with this guy. I think his name is Rajaee Black. I don't know how you say it. Rajaee is on his own. He did what he did. He's going down history as a trifling MFer, a horrible father, and just all around horrible person. That's how he's going down. Cause he knows. Now you go to nursing school. I imagine you learn about. Cause think about it, if you're in a hospital, you're gonna have patients that come in there that probably self harm, that try to do what he successfully did. Take their own life. You're gonna interact with that. So they teach you probably how to recognize the signs or how to deal with that. And he know his career's in demand, so there's really no excuse for what he did. That was not the right thing to do. I feel bad for the children, especially this time of year, for the people that celebrate Christmas. This is a big deal. And sometimes I wonder, when people do the things, when they do them, like they're trying to make a statement, because you devastated your children. You never get over the loss of, you lose someone, you never get over that. You learn to live without them. But imagine losing them in this manner. Like, the therapy those kids are going to need. That's terrible. And that everyone sees their dad on Instagram, Facebook, on YouTube. Literally, he's everywhere. I imagine the TMZ or mainstream media is even talking about this by now. Just says, I think the MGTOWs a negative influence, especially since they ain't nothing but high school losers anyway. Yeah, I think for the people that are weak-minded, I could see them acting on it, like we saw that guy acted on what Tommy would talk about. Man, it's heavy stuff. I was gonna see if I could Google that Chicago story to see if we had more info on the police officer, because I noticed in that video they didn't even show his face or anything. Like, he don't deserve privacy. So let me see if I can find some intel on him. And I'll drop the link in case anyone wants to come up and share their thoughts on the matter. But this is sad. I've known people personally that have, taken their own selves out of here. One person I know, they suffered with mental illness, but they didn't hurt anybody else. It actually made the local media in Georgia, I should laugh, but some guy was recording it and he put it on Facebook. And the guy I know that did it, he actually jumped over the overpass on 285, I-285, right by, I think there's Memorial Drive. And he was standing up there before he jumped. And so the guy watching him film, he said, "Do it, nigga, do it, do it." And so he actually jumped. I'm like, oh my God. So it's terrible. Hey, Virtuous Woman TV, good to see you. And a matter of fact, I'm glad to see you, because the Virtuous Woman had an awesome video on this subject. And she was mentioning, if I recall correctly, how it seems like, the men need a space to unpack. What we think about the Black male YouTube spaces, those are spaces for them to get their feelings off, their frustrations off, and that we shouldn't, interfere with that, because there's also a rise of these Black women in the Black male spaces. When you think about Danica Speeds, the Crimson Cure, there's like Dee, there's so many others. I know they were dragging April Mason, saying she's a chameleon, whatever. But I know that every human being, if someone says they fail, that's what happened to them. Nobody has a right to question their experience. So if a man is sharing his experience, that's his experience. I think that's gaslighting, when you try to tell somebody they didn't experience what they did. So that was a fabulous video Virtuous Woman did. I always love to hear her perspective, because it's always like, wow, she always wows me with her perspective. Okay, Queen, thanks for dropping by. Uh-oh, Who not? Okay, she in the clouds. So I was trying to find that video on some intel on the police officer. See, I got distracted, but telling y'all that story of the guy. So bear with me one moment. Okay, I see his photo right here. My laptop is running so slow. I think I need to probably delete some stuff on here. But I thank y'all for joining me this evening. And let's see, Virtuous Woman TV says, right, and it's why so many are mad at their mothers because they aren't able to speak vaguely. Right, because, you know, especially, well, I guess any mother, a lot of time moms shut you down, tell you to shut up before I give you something to cry about and stuff like that. And this may be everybody, but a lot of us have to really heal from our childhood experiences because parents are people, right? Before parents were parents, they were men and women, and they have flaws just like anybody else. And everyone needs a safe space to unpack and to maybe hear a different perspective on what they have experienced. I'm a big advocate for therapy because, like I said, I've experienced some adversity in my life. I've been through some mess. Like, I feel like sometimes people want to have the trauma Olympics. I could definitely participate in that, you know, and we all probably can. And you really need a place to unpack, especially when things happen to you when you're young. They kind of shape the lens that you view the world through. So when I watch male YouTube, I typically like to watch them from the clouds, and I would never gaslight anyone that's wrong. But I typically like to watch men from the clouds and hear their perspective on things. Uh-oh, there them bots go. It's not a show without them bots here. Them bots be typing the dumbest shit. Okay, let's see. It show his photo on Google, but when I pull up the story, it's not it. Wow. I'm sorry, y'all. Try to get it together over here. But it's really scary right now. It just seems to be a rise in violence, these domestic violent type situations. Because there was even a woman that killed her husband in Atlanta. She killed her husband. I think they were like in Primerica or something like that. And she killed him. So, like, oh my goodness. Virtuous Woman says, same MJ, even in real life, I stay in my own space. Right. Because I think even, well, there might be another video, but even with Lizzo, people like that trying to force that body positivity, like you can't force men to find certain things attractive. Every man is different, of course, but you know, I'm willing to hear a man out. You know, I'm willing to hear somebody out, but I've never denied someone's experiences. I remember watching Tommy and someone was laughing because he said the babysitter molested him. It was a guy. And he was like, you should be happy. I'm like, no, he was a child. He deserved to be a child and not be molested. Like, that's terrible because he's a male that he should want to have sex at 10. No, all children deserve to be children and not worry about someone violating them. So I just thought that was kind of sad. But I understand. I know he triggers people. So I guess that's how they feel they can get stuff off on him like that. Okay, I found a dude's mugshot. Okay, that's not it. Golly. Okay, here's the guy. So his name is Pierre Tyler. He's 29 years old. This is the guy that killed his 29-year-old girlfriend in Chicago. I don't know if he's told why he did it, but he literally shot this woman in the face, in her chin. That's sick. That's sick. Wow. He was on the force for 8 years. He has 3 children. He has a daughter with this woman that he did this to. They have a 9-month-old baby, and he did that to her. And she's a social worker. Oh, she was planning to break up with him. Wow. Man. I noticed some people you cannot break up with in person. I think it's better to not break up with people in person. But I guess if they know where you live, hell, they come see you if they want to do stuff like that. That's so sad. That's definitely sad. And thank you, Virtuous Woman TV, for sharing my video. I appreciate that. Y'all definitely gonna check out her channel. But that's about all I had. I didn't want to keep y'all too long tonight, but I definitely want to discuss this because it was just so horrendous to see that this man just casually talking about what he did to women he used to love, right? He used to love these women at one point, and you would think he would have some level of care for them. And this is just happening so much. I'm not familiar with that Charles Faulkner dude. Maybe I am. Yeah, Virtuous Woman said nowadays better not to give people in person. Yeah. Even the ghosting, I guess, depending on how long you've been with them, you got to know the mental health of the person you're dealing with. You have to be moved. I don't know. It's just sad. I think a lot of people are just really going through right now, and maybe these being isolated is just maybe ramping it up. I don't know, but this is sad. Even as police, I mean, he was a career police officer. You would think he would value his livelihood, care about his kid, that he don't want to leave his kid fatherless, motherless. I just don't understand people. Yeah, they are. They are. They are. Me and my friend were talking about, because she's on Match, and she's telling me about the interaction she's had with some men. And I was just like, I can't. I got him on the app for one. I talked to this man, and I bought, like, you could buy a burner phone number, because I'm not giving nobody my real phone number, because you Google your phone number, all your info pop up. But he was just, he was just so disgusting. I said, I can't do this. I deleted that app. I deleted everything. I can't do this. I can't. And Virtuous Woman TV says, did you see Jack Stacy saying his wife staged a domestic violence? Hell no. How did she stage being thrown around like a damn Cabbage Patch doll? I did not see that. That dude is crazy. I would never date somebody that was in the NFL because of CTE. I wouldn't deal with them because of that. I wouldn't deal with no like rapper, singer. Wow. Yeah, Just is cool. We know Just is a good man. Just is not out here knocking women between the washer and dryer. We know he's not doing. Queen said, yes, it's always someone else's fault. It does seem like people just don't want to take no accountability for anything. A lot of these guys, I don't know. I just think they need therapy. The way he threw that woman like she weighed 2 pounds and did it in front of the baby like it was nothing. And you could tell that woman was used to him kicking her ass, because you could tell she was trying to calm him down. He could have killed that woman. Wow. Queen said they always saying someone trying to trap them one way or another. Right. But it's like, I just don't understand. Like, I know as women, we are responsible for our reproductive health, right? But when men skeet up in you, what do they think can happen? There's a possibility you can get pregnant, right? Do they not know how conception works? I just don't understand that. But that Zach Stacy, whatever damn name, tongue tied. He's so disgusting. It got me tongue tied over here. Yeah, that's the best thing to do, Jess. You say you walk away before you argue. Yeah, it's not like that's not healthy. I think a lot of us need to learn how to communicate with each other in healthy ways. And, you know, uh, Virtuous Woman says they want to trap us with babies, not the other way around. I think so too. I believe that too. I really believe that too. Even though they act like they don't. But I guess just. Queen says they don't think, and to be fair, some of the blood is missing from their brain when they skeet skeet. That's true, Queen. Queen says still no excuse. You remember Usher when Chili said that Usher said he loved her, he wanted to marry her when they were getting it in. Like, whatever, dude. Just say I remember body positivity came up earlier, and I can already tell you that I don't do fat chicks at all. Some men cool it though. I ain't one. Yeah, but that's good, Jess. You be honest with yourself. We all have a type, we all have people, things that we're attracted to. And I think to a certain extent, like with the, I don't know if y'all saw that Hooters post, it went viral. The women were dressed as Hooters waitresses for Halloween, but they were, plus size women, and they were getting dragged on Twitter. And it was all races of men dragging us women. I was like, you can't force somebody to find you attractive if they don't. You just gotta, whoever finds you attractive, they do. But if they don't, hey, all right, whatever. It sometimes seems like people be trying to force people to like them. You know? Queen says, be honest with yourself, just that's fine. Don't get a fat woman try to turn her in. That's on you. Yeah, good luck with that. I know one guy, he broke up with a woman because she was too skinny. He wanted her to gain weight, but when he met her, she was slim. So, like, why would you get with somebody that's clearly slim when you like fat women? Don't make no damn sense. Virtuous Woman said, I seen a guy saying he would smash them, then 3 days later was roasting. I remember when I was growing up, when I was in high school, it was this fat girl in my neighborhood, and she would never wear a bra, so her breasts hang down to like her abdomen. But I had this neighbor, right, and I could see, like, look out my back door, and I could see his back door too. He would always slip that girl in the back door. He would never want to be seen with that girl. So clearly we know him and that girl was getting it in, but he didn't want to be seen with her. So I don't know. I don't know. What y'all think of that? Queen says, exactly, MJ, don't get a thin woman and try to turn her fat either. Right. Get with the person you like. Be honest with yourself. That's ridiculous. Like, I know a guy said he don't have a type of woman. He either just sleep with. I think that's the type of guy to just sleep with anything. That's disgusting because I think we all lean more toward a certain type, like physically, height, whatever it is. Just says, like old heads always tell me, Queen is out, the way you go in, the way you go out. The Virtuous Woman say, yep. And they like the old lady at church laying on church. Yeah, that girl never wore a bra. She was a young woman. And I'm like, why is she not wearing a bra? I get they're uncomfortable, but them things was hanging down low. And she always had like a little scarf. And this was like, early 2000s. It wasn't like it was the Erykah Badu type of head wrap. It was just like, your sleeping scarf. So I ain't get it. Queen says sometimes men can't help who they're attracted to despite what they usually go for. That's interesting. But it's definitely sad to keep seeing these stories every day of, women being offed, kids being orphans, left to be orphans. Do y'all think there's not enough mental health services in this country? Because I don't agree. I think in 2021, everyone has a smartphone. You Google therapists in whatever city, or I'm feeling like I want to off myself or whatever, and you'll find the resources that you need. So, and I'm really concerned about Pharaoh. I'll have to update about him because I think him and Martina is broken up. So when it seems like when people get real desperate like that, you better watch out. You better watch out. Just says I stay away from women that ain't got no preference because all that tell me is she take what she could get. Yeah, that's bizarre. I don't believe people say that. Are they some deviants or something? That's just like, it's not true. It's not true. I don't believe it. But all right, I'll wrap this up. I thank you all for joining me this evening. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and into the next one later. Let me see what you're saying, Virtuous Woman. Virtuous Woman says, but is it mental health or entitlement and power struggles? That's a good question. I don't know what to think, because to me it's just so extreme to off yourself because you're having a custody dispute. It's just so extreme. My mind don't work like that. It's like, get an attorney. Or if men, because I know men always on YouTube complaining about custody, are they taking this to Capitol Hill? Are they taking it to their senators, Congress, whoever who can change laws and reform things in their favor? That's my thing. But that's all for tonight. Thank y'all for joining. Y'all stay safe out there, and into the next one later.